Hello, welcome to the the weekly portions about the Parasha. And now we are going to have the last chapter of the fourth book. That is double portion Matot-Mase. And uh, and then we're having an interesting case. I'm going to show you about they have to make a unit of soldiers out of the um, the head of the tribe. So every tribe have to be submit 1,000 soldiers into this army of Moses. And then this is what the Creator said to Moses: before you die, I wanted to take a revenge on the Midianites for attempting to seduce and undermine the Jewish people. Okay, so it is something interesting that is going on, and thousand of each tribe. Okay, and then we have 1,000 in the Hebrew. It's Elef. Okay, Aleph, and also like Aleph, it's the same, the first Hebrew letters. Okay, and there is some connection that we're going to see later on how to conquer the Midianites. Okay, so and this is the combat that Moses needs to do in order to leave this physical world. Okay, so this is part of his goals in his life in these lifetimes. And also, this weekly portion is always falling between the three negative weeks, between Shvaisa Tammuz, 17th of Tammuz, until 9th of Av. And other, it's not an interesting, but referring for the case that the Midyan, it is meaning like the quarrel, the enemy. Okay. So, and this the counterpart of it is Moses. Okay, therefore he need to make this battle, right? Okay, so the total of enemy, and then it's a totally positive person that Moses he need to defeat this negativeness. Okay, and we have here in previously in Shmot, ונתנו מייקי תלונו עלינו. Okay, and what they are murmuring against us. Okay, so the ma here, ונתנו ma ki tluno, the ma meaning that this is a kind of humbleness, that the quality that we have in Moses. Okay, and in order to have the balance, the unity, the unification with God. Okay, so therefore, in order to conquer the Midianites, okay, we need to have the same unity as Moses had with himself and the Creator, and also the tribes have to be in unity. Okay, so this is one message of the Aleph here. Okay, so therefore, not only the tribes, each of the tribes within themselves, the 1,000 soldiers have to be in unity, but the whole Jewish nation that also as well. Okay, so also this number 1,000, okay, it is having a relation that when Moses was on Mount Sinai, he received certain sparks out of the receiving the Torah, 1,000 sparks. After when the Jewish people had the golden calf sin, okay, it was reduced 999 out of 1,000, remaining one. Okay, so in each of the Shabbat, Moses gained one more spark, another more spark for being and connecting with the Shabbat energy. But after, okay, doing this battle of conquering the Midianites, he received all the 1,000 back, right? So he didn't have this 1,000 Shabbat to make, but the left was granted to him after this battle. Okay, so Aleph, if we would be writing Aleph Lamed Pei. Okay, and if we would place the letters in a different order, we would have this Afel. Okay, meaning darkness. Okay, so in order to go into the light, we need a darkness. Okay, this is the stage that prior to receiving the grain, receiving the light. Okay, so and also many times we have to overcome the same as that Moses had to overcome many things in his life. So this is the reason he became like a tzad in a position of tzaddik, right? But also we have our own individuality of that. Also, we are overcoming in a different measurement of things in our life. Okay, and this is, but also we have to acknowledge that this is the last stages of the life of Moses, right? So he's completing the things that he need to still doing in his lifetime. So in the portion of Masse, we have these 42 stations. Okay, these 42 places where the Jewish nation stopped, and these are also not only like physical places, but we acknowledge them as spiritual places after that they left Egypt. So they have to overcome these 42 stages in order to arrive to different level of consciousness. And here we have in במדבר, וייסעו ממדבר סין ונחלו בדווקא, וייסעו מדווקא ויחנו באלוש, וייסעו מאלוש ויחנו ברפידים, ולא היה שם מים לעם לשתות, וייסעו מרפידים ויחנו במדבר סיני. In English, and the journey from wilderness to Sin and pitch to Dovka, and the journey from Dovka to pitch to Alush, and the journey from Alush to pitch to Rafidim. There was no water for the people to drink, and the journey from Rafidim and pitch the wilderness of Sinai. Okay, so we already have these stations in the portion of Beshelach. Besides two places, okay, the two places are not mentioned over there, but here yes, right? So this is the new information that we are going to receive. Dafka and Alush, those are the places that connecting Betsin and Refidim. So the question is, what really happened there? That in what kind of like spiritual journey happened there? Misin to Refidim that was accompanying there. Okay. And here, when we write Refidim, okay, Resh Pei Yud Dalet Mem, we have a missing Yud. Okay, so first here we arrive to one missing character, a Yud. וייסעו כל עדת בני ישראל במדבר סין למסעיהם על פי השם ויחנו מרפידים ואין מים לשתות שם. And all the congregation of Israel journeyed from wilderness to Sin by the stages according to the commandments of the God and came in Refidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. You see, no water. Again, וייסעו מרפידים ויעברו מדבר סיני ויחנו במדבר ויכין שם ישראל נגד ההר. They departed from Refidim, they were come to the wilderness of Sinai, they encamped in the wilderness, they in Israel encamped before the mount. So here we have extra youths, right? Two youths in Refidim, we find it in two youths. So here in previously we have in both youths are placed, and the other place we have one missing youth. So there is the reason behind everything. So also here, so there is some imperfectness that happened in Rafidim before. So what does it mean? Okay, according to the Talmud, it says that there is some weakness happened, meaning that they haven't learned so much Torah, they haven't doing some mitzvot, so they weren't putting so much energy in that part. Okay, So how could it happen that the Jews like didn't learn the Torah in that stage with Moses? Okay, so don't forget. So this happened before the Mount Sinai. So they haven't received the Torah. Mm, but before all what happened in the Sinai, they received the laws of the Shabbat and the red heifer. So in the Refidim, they didn't have the perfectness of their knowledge, right? So it's also only after all these happenings in Mount Sinai. Okay, so what it says that the same tshuva that they made at the Sinai, the same feeling they left the Refidim. Okay, so they have to make a tshuva in their heart. They were about to make a tshuva, even though they weren't knowing the imperfection, the mitzvot. But if in making a tshuva, you have something like that something is missing in your inner self, and you want to do something perfectly. And if you're doing with a full heart, you are going to grant this kind of energy. Okay, obviously we can learn, okay, later on when we have a possibility to learn the mitzvot and what we have to do. We can adapt to our lack of knowledge. And also diligence could be helping out to fill out of this lack. And then when we get to the Mount Sinai, they receive the 10 Commandments, okay? And this is the Yud, the 10, the 10 Commandments, the number value of Yud is 10, that it be having in the missing Refidim, okay? But on other parts, we do have Refidim sometimes with these two Yuds, okay? And also that we know that also the other part that we find is Refidim in Beshalach, then that is about the portion of the man as well. So we know that they were eating the man for 40 years. And 40, it is the number of transformation. So how you are, like by eating the manna, you are going to prepare yourself for the Torah study. Okay, and when at the Mount Sinai, Mount Sinai energy, meaning that your soul is being very high level, okay, that like the angels, okay, so it is a very high level, like even that they were in a human body, they arrived to the level of angels, but in the human body. So it's something like a little bit impossible in this sense, but on that moment on Mount Sinai, it was. And therefore, they were eager to listen what the Torah will be saying, right? Because this is what they wanted to know later on. And therefore, on that stage, we have these two youths, okay? But on other part, when we find imperfections, that is the 10 Commandments, the Torah, when the Torah was given, it is filling up all these lacks. Okay, so what we have here, the opportunity of the 3 weeks, okay, when we are focusing on destruction of the temple, okay, we need to do some Torah studies, even if it's like 2 minutes, a few short minutes, okay? It's not the length of the things is important, but the type of connection and your willingness to be in connecting to that, okay? So therefore, I wish you this week still, okay, and this till the 9th of Av, and then all this period going to be closed. Thank you for this week, and see you next week as well. Bye bye.